Hey guys, let's talk about the elephant in the room. AI writers are the great equalizer. So using ours, it's a top quality writer and we've incorporated it into the websites to create your contents for you to simplify all your work. So it solves your problems in minutes if you're not good at writing English. Maybe you stare at the blank page and you get writer's block and you're not sure what you're going to write. Or you just don't know how they do it. The guys who are writing about the content, the topic, that's exciting. It's fun to read. It's interesting. It's engaging. It's convincing. It's maybe professional or informal or formal or whatever. But how do they do it, right? And so you would have to hire copywriters to do it because you're just not that good at writing. So this will solve your problem if that's true. Also, if you're not good at English in the first place, what if English is not your main language? Okay, but you can comprehend what you read just fine, okay, in English. So if you can comprehend it, you can tell if it makes sense, if it's got common sense applied, if it's answering the questions, if you should throw in a new topic, simple stuff like that. You can do that, right? You can go look up what other guys are writing about and go, ooh, I'm going to write similarly. Okay. You know what else it does? It does the writing for you so well that you don't even need to know hardly anything about what you want to sell. Can you imagine that by writing about a topic you will learn later? Write first, understand next. You know, write, read, know. How's that? So literally it's going to write so well for you about anything, whether you knew it or not, that you're going to be interested, fascinated, and learn from reading what it's producing in front of you, basically. So that's how you can tell it's going to work. Because if it engages you, Google's going to rank it. Google ranks the stuff where people spend the most time on the page and or interact with the page by clicking things, and scrolling up and down and focusing, heat map stuff. All because if you're doing it better than the next guy, you're becoming an authority on the topic. Whatever keyword someone searched and they clicked on you versus other people who searched the same thing and clicked on someone else. Google counts who's spending the most time on that site. The sites that win get the most effect, right? But that's one factor of many. Having said that, the hardest thing to deal with is creating the content. Everything else is a lot easier than that. All right. We do want to suggest don't try to write very specific things. Don't put words in people's mouth. Don't write legal advice. Don't write medical advice, okay? Unless you know how to fact check these things. If you are the lawyer or the doctor and you can write it and then fact check it because you're writing it for yourself, for your practice, great. Go ahead, right? Don't say that somebody else's weight loss product loses people more weight than they say it loses them. Or something like they lose weight faster or who knows what. Okay? AI writers need to be fact-checked when they produce, read through it, but they save so much of the effort for your productions. And we even made that easy efficiency for both. If you produce one page and you're going to put it on your website and you're going to read through it and fact check it, right? Well, what if you want to do 20 of those pages? Well, we're going to output that into Excel. And Excel's going to have the columns lined up. The titles, the paragraph, subtitle, paragraph. It's going to have the image sections in there. You can expand the titles and glance through them all real fast just to make sure they all look good to you. And then scoot it over and expand the paragraph and read through them and make sure that they're all looking good. Scoot that over, open the next thing up, make sure that looks good, right? So you can focus on each set of contents along the way and ensure that they're all good, that they don't say anything wrong. If you're writing on behalf of somebody else, you could send them a copy of that file and tell them to do it, just because they would know better than you. That way you make it their responsibility. Then they can send it back to you and say, yep, looks good to me, go ahead. And you can just save that note and put the stuff up, right? There you go. So it's a great equalizer. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter where you're from in the world. If you can comprehend what you read in English just fine, then you can offer your writing services as an English copywriter. And literally, you can write website content better for anyone than they can write it for themselves for the most part. You can, because of everything else our websites do, by generating unique imagery also, and by user tracking and tracking right down to the people and their actions and their engagements, and being able to report on what people are doing on the site and how well it's working. But not just that, the sites monitor and self-improve. They optimize themselves. So all of this is amazing. And that's really what makes it a great place to be, because nobody else does this but us at website-installer.com. Under new releases, this is where we created all of these new templates, and all of the features that I'm talking about are built in, and all the new upgrades that we're coming out with day by day are automatically updated into all of these templates, and the ones you get on your domains, they're updated in real time automatically as we release those updates. Okay? You don't need to go log in and hit some update to v1.12 version. It's just going to happen automatically in the back end. It won't change what you're doing. All the new functions and features will be there. You can engage them, use them, update them, whatever. But they won't mess with your stuff. Your stuff is fine. Your pages of content and so forth. Anyway, having said that, let's come back to this, right? Article generation. And when I talk about it, I want to explain what makes article generation really cool in our system. Everybody who uses the AI sources come up with their own twist to things. Some people say write anything you want under the sun. Some people say just create iterations of this thing. You know, we wanted a strong deal of flexibility, but to shelve that in such a way that the stuff we know you want to create will be easy for you to create, but we didn't want to give you a billion options and say practice them all. So there's two kinds of things here. Otherwise, there's delete articles and merge the variations you create. So there's only 4 buttons, and these two make sense. So after you generate page content and or content with commands, it's going to show up in a list, and you can check mark things and delete what you're not using. Okay? And then for things that you like, or things that you're not using anymore because you already assigned them to pages and you're done with them. Okay? Otherwise, say you're going to create a bunch of iterations. It'll say how many you have to work with, and you can merge those variations. So really cool stuff. So anyway, let me just walk through the concepts real quick, and I'll start actually with content with commands. Okay. When you look at this box, it's pretty simple. It's going to be like, give me something here. And this is where you would put stuff like, write a blog about, and use a colon, the double dots, and a space. Now write it, with capitals. Make it look like a headline. How to cook without dairy from cows. And then if I said, well, what are keywords for that? Well, what would it be? It would be stuff like non-dairy, comma, and the comma will create the separator there that you just saw. Vegan, comma, right? And I like keeping the creativity all the way up because it's been doing an absolutely awesome job. No reason to really change this. So the words count. Usually make it like 2,000. We find that sometimes it doesn't want to write it because it's trying to write bigger or it's trying to write smaller. So if you hit next and you get like a blank or a null and it's not working, and you hit next again and it does it again, then what you might need to do is change the word count. Try a higher word count like 2,500. If that doesn't work, try a lower word count like 1,500. Okay? You don't need to change the number after every test. I mean, hit the button like 3 times. And if you get nothing after 3 times, then give it more room or less room. Eventually, we'll figure out how to get that thing dialed in better. But anyway, long story short, 1,500 is definitely, I think, going to be a really good number for you. And so this is an idea of write a blog about this. Can you put more than one thing? You can. And when you do it, you should separate it with commands like then, comma, write, whatever it is, a title about, or something like that. You can literally create like a recipe, we've been calling it. A recipe is a set of commands. Throw in 2 pinches of this, add a 1/4 cup of that, slather this, spread that, smear this, mix that, add some more of this. Okay, and that's a recipe, and that's saying create a title. Now create a tagline for the title. Now throw in an image, a line to the right, and then create 2 paragraphs that introduce the thing. And then create a subheader and create 3 paragraphs for that. Kind of like that, okay? That's what we really want. We want the recipes. Because once you have the recipe done, you can generate a bunch of variations of the same kinds of content. You always have to have more than one, because one will never get you enough rank, right? If you want to rank for this thing, how to cook without dairy from cows, you're going to need a bunch of pages on your website to basically talk about that, and or you've got pages for affiliates that are all unique so that all the affiliate pages can index in Google actually, or you're getting backlinks for yourself on other websites. So even if it's a bunch of small websites with 5 pages each, you're going to have that website and another one, another one, another one. You want this one to backlink, that one to backlink, and that one to backlink you too. So it's got a backlink page to corresponding page. The next website, the corresponding page. The next website, the corresponding page. And then page 2 to page 2, page 2 to page 2, page 2 to page 2. Page 3 to page 3, page 3 to that, right? That's the best way to do that, okay? So the way to do it is to be able to create a winning recipe. Now, having said that, do you have to create a recipe? No. What do I like about this? Well, heck, man, maybe I'm figuring out what I want my content to be all about. And right now, I can get in here and change things, okay? I can add and remove stuff. I can put in subheaders and mark them as subheaders, okay? But what I might do is just simply put what I got so far on a notepad, okay? And I've got some pretty good ideas. If I read through them, it's like, ooh, use plant-based milk instead of cow's milk. There are all these other kinds. Almond milk, soy milk, and coconut. Heck, I should write about that. Yeah, it's a sub-page. Use dairy-free cheese. Why? There are many types of dairy-free cheese. You can use these in place of... Really, what are they? I'm going to go look some up, then I'm going to write about them. I can become an expert at all this stuff without ever knowing any of it. Isn't that weird? That's what I mean by the great equalizer. Dairy-free creamers. Okay, I'm going to become an expert at dairy-free creamers I'm going to write like I've known about it for years. I'm going to write like I've been doing it for years and years, even though I'm going to actually learn more about it after I write it. Okay, so that's the craziness of the world we're in here. What else could you say? You could say, write 3 testimonials for, right? And I was saying like steamer, carpet, cleaners in Chicago. Isn't that unbelievable? And then what do I want for the keywords here? I want something like carpet cleaning, great job, professional. Okay, I could put steamer carpet cleaners. I could put Chicago. Let's just see what it does though, And so I'm saving my content, but I'm jumping from topic to topic just to show you different examples, right? Look at that. Steamer carpet cleaners in Chicago, 1. I was so impressed with the steam cleaning service I received from Steamer Carpet Cleaners. They did an amazing job. My carpets to look and feel brand new. Only thing is, Steamer Carpet Cleaner. Yeah, that's exactly right. And again, if I have to make an edit, if it was Steamer's Carpet Cleaning or something, I could do it right now. I could do it just like that. Okay? And then I could copy my whole thing and paste it somewhere. I have never had my carpets cleaned by a professional service before, but after using Steamer Carpet Cleaners, I will never go back to doing it myself. They did such a thorough and amazing job. My carpets look better than ever. Can you believe it? These are unique writings. The AI writer wrote these. They sound like testimonials you could probably find on the internet, but they are plagiarism free. They are totally uniquely written. They don't exist anywhere on the internet. So when you're going through this stuff for the content commands, whether you're creating titles, subtitles, taglines, short pitches, blogs, comments on the blogs, questions about something, frequently asked questions about something, you do it with commands in this case. Write 3 facts. Let's see if that works. I haven't even tried it yet. For steamer carpet cleaners in Chicago. It might not work. Oh yeah. What are the benefits of using a steamer carpet cleaner? I would fix that, right? Steamer carpet cleaners, right? How do I choose the right steamer carpet cleaner from? I see. How do I use a steamer carpet cleaner properly? Of course, because it looks like a company name, doesn't it? So this is where sometimes you can make it even better by putting it, in the keywords, right? Sometimes that alone is enough for it to go, oh, I see. Now it's like, what are the benefits of steam cleaning my carpets? How often should I have my carpet steam cleaned? Do I need to do anything to prepare for a steamer carpet cleaning appointment? So the only thing at this point I would do is just, capitalize that, right? Can you believe it? This is doing the work. So what if I want more? I would copy this to my notepad file, right? And I would create more facts. How many can you create? I don't know. Try 20. Okay, I'm going to move on because you get the idea. You can create content with commands and have at it. You can even write in the voice of. Okay? You can say it. Write 5 self-motivational or write an intro for self-motivation in the voice of Napoleon Hill. Or write about home improvement in the voice of Bob Villa, who was a great home improvement guy on TV for a long time. You can do that, okay? And because you can do that, you can get that tone you want, that style you want. Sometimes people say, well, the writing's kind of dry. And the answer is, when you generate content with commands, unless you give it a voice, don't go crazy. Don't go write 20 exciting facts for. I can't even name an exciting fact for a carpet cleaner. So be, sensible, right? 20 curious. Facts are facts. They're going to be kind of dry because they're frequently asked questions, right? But when you say write testimonials for, right? Or write good questions about, you can choose some tones. Informal, formal, polite, witty, engaging, convincing, professional, right? There you go. That kind of thing. That's how you do it, okay? All right, so that's the concept with commands, all right? And that gives you fodder to work with in your notepads. And it also teaches you really, really fast what it is you wanted to know if that's the idea. Okay? Now, I didn't save it. I should have saved it, huh? Generate page content. This is what I call really, really, really fun. Okay? Generating page content is like this. How to cook dairy-free or without dairy from cows kind of thing. Should we try some other topic? There are a lot of topics to try, of course. What would you want to write about, right? I don't know. I mean, sometimes you got to think about what you're really wanting to say, right? Improvement what? Improvement quotes, strategy, plan. Know what you're trying to sell. What are you trying to sell? So what do you want to talk about? We were talking about all kinds of things. There's addiction centers. There's accident attorneys, DUI, bankruptcy. There are all these kinds of things you can get into and discuss, right? SEO tips and tricks. There's so many things. But if you type in some kind of a main header, what do we have? I don't know. Roofing. Services in Atlanta, Georgia. Mostly it's just roofing services. You know why? This is going to be a keyword. Atlanta and separately Georgia, because it doesn't need to treat it like a single word, right? Roofing services. And I might say something like residential repair. Oh, I don't need to capitalize it. Repair, replacement, financing. See, and hit a comma to lock it in. Now, the reason for all this, why am I creating the keywords? I'm guiding the writer. Number of subtitles. Don't do more than 10. Do like 1 to 10. And words count. Right now the words are pretty small, right? 17. Why? We're not trying to get it to write a blog. We want this to give us subtitles to go with the title. Okay? And so if we did do commands and stuff, that would help us with our keywords. And also, if we got a list of specific things that we want to talk about, we can replace a bunch of these. Now, when it goes, it's still, just because of the way the command is structured, it's not exactly creating titles. I could create titles under the command section, and maybe it gives me 10 titles. So I need to generate at least 10 of these to proceed, so I can change the wording on them. Like right now, I can't touch the wording. I can only say if I want it on the next page or not. Looking for quality roofing services in Atlanta, Georgia? Look no further than the. I'm going to edit that, right? I'm going to get rid of that. But I do like looking for quality roofing services in Atlanta, Georgia. I think that's kind of cool. I might keep that because it's going to be great for an introduction, isn't it? Find the best roofing services in Atlanta, Georgia for your residential repair replacement. That probably will come in handy. I'll have it write about that and see what it comes up with and see if I want to mix them together or keep them separate. Residential roofing services in Atlanta, Georgia. Repair, replacement, financing. What the heck is better than that? Isn't that like the best? I could almost say don't even do these two. Just start right here. But it doesn't matter what the order is, because guess what? After it writes, we can grab and drag to drop the order of these things. And yeah, we can still edit the final version to just do whatever we want. Mix a couple of things together, who knows. Your expert Atlanta residential roofing company specializes in repairs, replacements, and financing. You know what's funny? The whole time I talked about it, I kept it generic so that we can sell the leads to whoever we want. I never named a roofing company. I can make the website about the idea of find a great roofing company near you, call the phone number here, or fill out the form there, or click the link here, or whatever it is I want to do, whatever it is that helps me make money, okay, with the project, right? I'm selling the leads in a case like that. Isn't that neat? So I can do all this stuff. Anyway, let's say there are a couple of here I don't want because they're just too repetitive, right? Like it already said that, I already said that, and I already said that. Reality check has already said a lot of things, and I probably will find some of this too repetitive. But if I need 10 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's 10. Maybe I want it to give me something else now. But what? Roofing tiles, how about? Then my idea here is that it adds, that it creates more stuff for me. Okay? Can always come back to the roofing services thing. Okay, roofing tiles. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that nice? Bunch, man. It gave me 10. Atlanta's premier roofing tile repair and replacement company. Atlanta's top roofing tile repair replacement. I could change some of this, like what are roofing, the best roofing tiles. I could change the keywords for these things and get different titles. Here's the point. You can keep hitting next. It'll generate 10 more, then 10 more, then 10 more. So you can keep making adjustments until you get a bunch of cool titles about the stuff you want. Okay? No more bundling up in blankets. Get your roofing tiles repaired to replace. Yeah, kind of repetitive. You know what I mean? Okay, let's just say I had enough. I'm going to proceed. Okay, I've got all these subtopics. Okay, now let's say for some of these, I wanted my own topics in there. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can just do this real quick. I want to go to the command and say create 5 subtopic titles for Atlanta Roofing Company, Atlantic Roofing Experts, right? Atlanta Residential. I wanted to stick to that and not talk about commercial, right? And let me try 10. Sometimes it doesn't do the right number anyway, but oh well. Okay? Roofing, as a matter of fact, I don't even need that if I'm going to put it in here as a keyword, right? So I'll just do like so. Roofing, roofers. I'll stop there. Let's see what happens. I'll do like 1,500, although I'm still not sure if this is the right idea for this kind of a thing. We'll just see what it does. You're kind of getting the idea. We get to spend all our time on strategy and not have to know the content very well. Wow, look at that. The benefits of hiring an Atlanta residential roofing expert, how to find the right Atlanta residential roofing expert, different types of roofing systems used by Atlanta residential roofing experts, the importance of regular maintenance for your Atlanta home's roofing system, 5 tips for hiring an Atlanta roofing contractor, the different materials used, which I think was up here, different types of roofing systems used. I might just lean to the different materials and drop that. Number 3, I might just drop it. Okay? 5 tips, the different materials, how to identify common roofing problems, how to choose the right roofing contractor. Did it say that up here? How to find the right roofing expert, how to choose the right roofing contractor. Okay. Wow, I'll get rid of that one. The 10 most commonly asked questions. Wow, that's kind of a cool idea. I'll just make it the most commonly asked questions. It doesn't need to be 10. Tips, I'll make it, instead of 5 tips, I'll make it tips for maintaining your roofing system. Now check this out. I'm going to get rid of all those silly numbers real quick so that it's faster for me to, I'll get rid of tips here too. Tips for hiring. What was the other one? Tips for maintaining. Got it. Maybe it's too soon to talk about maintaining anyway, because the idea is to get the guy in the door, right? Okay, watch this. I'm going to make myself some room here. I'm going to grab that. What do you think this is doing? It's telling me all the pages I should write. It's telling me what I should include into the table of content approach of my homepage. And then not just, so my homepage is going to have a couple of paragraphs about each of these. But then I can create a whole page about each of these. A whole page, a whole page, a whole page. And I can put links to these things in the top menu. And I can make some of these the sub-menu items, the drop downs. Right? Isn't that nuts? I'm going to get rid of these stray spaces. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm not going to save the content. I'm just going to go back to my other thing. Matter of fact, look, that's a great intro. Find the best roofing services near you. It's kind of like repeating this idea. So guess what? I'm going to start right here. As a matter of fact, I could reorder these, but I don't need to reorder them now. Triple click. Paste, and then back. Because I can reorder them in the end when I see what it writes. So I could reorder them now. I mean, there's no reason why not, right? You get it? What I'm doing here? I'm sure you do. Ooh. One of these I might want to keep. Yeah, I still got what, like 5 or 6 or 7 more of these? Oh, okay. So I got plenty of room. Yep. I mean, we're almost done, aren't we? Hutches are right. Yeah. And then the most commonly asked, whatever it is. Okay. Okay. Roofing tile and replacement. Yeah, I could get rid of that. And that, and that, and that. Okay. I'm going to make it engaging. I could do convincing. That's kind of weird. I'm doing a really long page. If it's all convincing, it's going to drive people emotionally out of their minds. Okay? Now, I shouldn't have created so many, right? What I ought to do is put on this spot a way to delete extras after all. So right now they're kind of blank, and it's a problem because I got to put something in here. So I just got to, whoops. I got to put something in here after all. Oh, wait, I keep doing it in the wrong spot. My goodness. All right, title, title, title. All right, okay. Now, actually, these might need to be different, so I'll just do them differently, like 1, 2, and 3. How's that? Okay. Tone's engaging. What are my keywords going to be? Well, kind of the same things, right, that you would expect. Now, I could turn it into a page about a company by now, right? Let's call it, okay, Bennett and Bennett Roofers. Okay. Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Now, if I copy the keywords, it'll take this set and bring it all the way down. Let me see. Experts. Yeah, friendly. Efficient. Top quality. Okay, if you go too many keywords, you kind of throw the whole system off, and I'm probably going too many keywords. I just can't resist. We'll see if that works. All right, let's see. Boom. And I'm just dying to see what it does, right? That's the whole point, is we can make all of this stuff and then go rearrange it and delete stuff we don't want in the end, keep stuff we do want, you know. And again, the words count thing is something that we'll get used to. When you try to do too many words at once with too much material at once, it's just too many variables. And it'll take forever. And one thing I did that's really messy that way is put in so many keywords. I probably should have just stuck to 2, maybe 3. Like the name of the company, the city and the state, and perhaps 1 or 2 more to talk about the quality of the job or the fact that we're experts, something like that. So right now, I've just got to see how long it takes to get this thing done, and frankly, I'm not really sure. So I'm going to just go ahead and pause the recording at this point. I see where we're at now, and we'll just see where we're at in the end. All right. Oh, that's hilarious. I paused, and about 3 seconds later, bap, here it hit. Oh, yeah, I forgot to take out that look no further than the. So it's here, right? Okay, watch this. Looking for quality roofing services, look no further than the. I'll be able to edit this in a minute on the next page, okay? The benefits of hiring, the importance of regular maintenance, all those things, right? And then what to do at the bottom with the bottom things. Ooh, most commonly asked questions. Look at that. It's a list of questions that are common. Oh, I love it. Okay, roofing tile, It's talking about Bennett Roofers are the experts in roofing tile and repair and replacement in Atlanta, Georgia. We are a family-owned and operated business, and we've been serving Atlanta and the surrounding area for over 25 years. So yeah, I got to fact check it, but wow, I love it. Now, I don't need this or this or this, so I'm not going to include them. Isn't that neat? I can just ignore it. Unless I like what it's writing. Then I'll include it and drop the headlines, right? Now, what do I want to say? One last thing. Check this out. What if I think I should put one of these things ahead of this one? I can drag and drop right now. You know what that means? I can kind of go section by section, thinking in pieces. Ooh. The benefits of hiring, tips for hiring, look for quality roofing service. So look no further than that. I'm going to change the title. The importance of regular maintenance to your Atlantis home roofing system. Nah, I'm not going to talk about that after all. Residential roofing services, repair, replacement, and financing. I can fix that. If you need roofing services, I think I'm duplicating that. The different materials. I'm going to leave this. How to identify common roofing problems in Atlanta. Ooh, smart. I'm going to move that one up higher. I think it deserves to be up higher than that. Heck, man, it might even go all the way up. That would change everything, wouldn't it? I mean, what do I want to make my H1 tag to capture the curiosity of people who are doing the search? Okay? Any of this is good. It's just you're going to get different customers using that than you would using this. You'll probably get the same number of customers whether you use this or this. Because people who are doing searches and reading up on what's going on are educating themselves on concepts. And we can always do keyword researches in places to see, whether we feel like this is the better topic or if that's the better topic to have at the very top of the page. It doesn't really matter. We can always test and change things around, update things. It's so simple. And we can watch how our website monitors and reacts. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to proceed. I selected what I wanted to select. I didn't select what I didn't want to select. The only thing I don't like is I should have created a conclusion. So you know what? Let's just say one of these things is fine as a conclusion for me. Okay? Okay. Boom. Proceed. Guess what? I've got this huge, cool page, and I can edit it right now. Atlanta Residential Roofing Expert. Experts. How's that? Identify. Yep, I can drop that. Okay. Identify common roofing, the different materials. Atlanta's premier roof tile replacement, how to choose the right contractor. Oh, maybe I should have put that above, and is it too late? Nah, I'll use Control X to cut and come up to where I want it to go and just insert and paste. You see that? Okay, and then I can get rid of that extra space. And if for some reason it changes the case of something, just change it back. Take that and make it what you wanted to make it. Okay? Normally, all of these are H2s. It wants to make them H3s. We'll fix that. Normally, they're H2s. They should be H2s. So that Google goes, yep, I'm happier. So you can make them H2s. Like I said, we're going to fix this soon. You might think, but the H2 is too big. And the answer is this has nothing to do with it. This is just temporary stuff. The real controls is going to be on the website, right? So if you guys have studied about how the website controls work, then you'll realize you're controlling that stuff there. That's the H1, okay? And if I really want, I'd like a paragraph below the H1 without an H2. Okay, you know what I think then? Right here, Control X, Control V, and then delete this top because it's unnecessary. It's extra. Yep. I'm going to pull that up. Okay. Figure out your spacing however you want. It doesn't matter a ton because you're still going to be able to do this on the next slide. There. I got one of those things where if you erase, it messes it up. So I'm going to put a hard line break in there as a separator. And if I really want, I could put a hard line break in here and then hit delete. Because it's okay, because it's done. Put another one right there. Okay, that's H2. But this, I've got a hard break before it and after it. So now I can make it a paragraph. And that's easy. Okay? Sometimes it's tricky to get it just formatted right, but like I said, you don't really have to worry about it. Waiting to just get it into the web page later, and then it'll be so much easier to optimize all this stuff. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, so I'm just showing you really that you can do this. Okay, whatever. All right, so, and yeah, edit. If you're, I mean, I'm being so picky in this year when I do that. All right. Most commonly asked questions, roof repair, get rid of this thing, or even call us today, right? And then I'd have the phone number right here. You know, I'll update it for the phone number. Okay? And then that'll be my closing. Anyway, I'm done. I could copy it, and if I do, I can paste it into a notepad. But don't lose it. Control V. Guess what? It copied it with all the coding for a web page. Ain't that cool? But what else? I can save it. And when I have a page ready, I can assign it. I recommend saving it first. Save it. Now it's saved. I like it, so I'm going to publish the article. Yes. And that means it's published. See the order of events? Finally, I can assign it to a page, and I would say the main domain, okay, don't get any more confusing than that right now, and there's only the home page I can assign it to. All right, and it's assigned, okay? So if everything is correct, and I have to go back and double check because we keep screwing around in this environment where we do so many things at once, it should be here. Yeah, like the blog shouldn't be. Aha, look at this. There it is. Oh, it's not showing everything. So I got to see why. Something caused it to not show everything. Matter of fact, something caused it to lose everything. Well, I'm glad that I saved it. We'll obviously get that fixed really fast. That was working the other day, but like I say, we keep doing so many things at once that sometimes is tricky. Okay, I don't need that. What I need is this. Okay, I wish I had the recipe for that just the way it was. It's saved in the system, or it should be, but then it would have given me all the content. So the very fact that I didn't do it means I have to go let some people know and say, hey, what's going on? We need to fix this. Control-O, Control-C. Watch this. I've got the source code right here, complete with the end of a paragraph, the start of a header. How do you get that into the page? You can't just paste it here. When you do, it's going to save all the source code. And you're like, no, man, it's going to read the source. We're going to read the source code. So how do you do it? You go to source, meaning go to the source code, view. Okay, and I can drag this if I want. I can highlight everything, Control A for Control All, and delete it. Then I can paste in mine, the one I had highlighted, and hit source. Ah, now it's done. Now it's got everything. Okay. There we go. Okay. Update. All right. So, yeah, I mean, we will fix this thing. But in the meantime, look at that. I've got all my stuff. So I could put in images manually right now into the contents. We have a topic for that. Or I could do it automatically soon when we get that feature finished. It's not finished yet, but we're going to incorporate image generation into article generation such that when you're doing your variations, subtitles and content. You know what? Let me see if I can do it a different way. It'd be easier to show. Say I wanted to create iterations, variations, okay? And I said, give me 10 variations with 2,000 words each, okay? Enter the keywords. We all know what they are. Atlanta, you know, Georgia, roofing, residential, right? Okay. See here the subtitles? This is what I could save when I'm building the page to make sure I have it in case that ever happens. What just happened, right? So must have been some character in there at the end of a line, threw it off, or I don't know what. I got to go back and check. We'll get it fixed. But if I had that, they'd all be showing up there. All those subtitles we created would show up. Maybe it's because the ones at the bottom that I left in, I don't think so though. I don't know what it was. I'll fix it. But they would be here. You know what you'd be able to do in between them? And when I say that they would be here, what do I mean to say? I want to show it better. Aha. Like this, okay? I just want to be clear about this. Okay? See that? There we go. Yep. I like it. Okay. Yeah, so now, see, when I create, I'd be able to make a bunch of pages with content on them. But pretty soon, you know that these are the different sections, right? What if you wanted to put an image before it? Create image dash right, meaning align the image to the right and make it about this, right? New carpeting in home. And then comes the next title in the next section down here. You're going to have something like create image left, you know, toys on new carpet in home. Some cool thing like that, right? You could even have like furnished, unfurnished, right? And it doesn't need to be toy. It could be furnishings, you know. Living room furnishings on new carpet and home. Okay? And that way when you create, it's going to make those pages, and when it makes all those contents, it's going to rewrite from start to finish, and it's going to rewrite the subtitles so that your pages don't all say the same headers, which would be ridiculous. They should say something like the same headers, but not the same headers, because Google won't like that. Okay? But having said that, they're going to be rewritten, they're going to say different things, and they're going to insert those images. How's that? One image at the top right, the next one down below at the bottom left. Wherever it was that you had it for the image. Sooner or later, we're going to have one for the center too. It's going to be like create image dash center, and that'll just know to make the image bigger or whatever, you know. Bedroom, new carpet in home, or in bedroom, yeah. Yeah, I just say it like that. Okay? You could even get creative. You could say new white carpet. You could say whatever kind of carpeting, you know, whatever. Create. So there you go. That's where we basically are. Okay? We're just to a point where the next step after finishing up the image tweaks that we have there is this. And then otherwise, obviously, we're still just dealing with glitches as we find them and ironing them out real fast and updating everyone's templates real fast. Okay? So there you go. We are really, really close to doing that. And then you're going to have an Excel file that you can download with all the iterations. And we'll just talk about that later because we're not ready to discuss it yet, but we will be in a handful of days. In the meantime, get in, get going, go to website-installer.com, okay, and hit new releases. Anything you get from here, you can install right away to a domain name, and you can already start following along with our training videos. It was turned off, but there will be a videos link right up here if you don't see it yet. And that videos link is going to have everything you need to know so that you can start doing whatever you want with your websites and make them profitable. All right. Talk to you soon.